So let's talk just about your first feature, Catch 44, starring Bruce Willis.
One thing I've realized over the years is being opportunistic is always your friend because, you learn quickly the system doesn't owe you anything. I think people come with a lot of chips on their shoulders or I'm the genius. Town needs to recognize that quickly. And so I was always kind of, available and looking for any opportunity I could. So that was that whole film basically came about because while working with this low budget film director, I'd met a couple of people through, him and his associates. And one of them basically wanted me to write him essentially a horror film. Like he wanted a small, low budget horror film. He had this idea for it. And I said, yeah, sounds great. Perfect. Whatever. Let's do that. So I started writing it for him. And just to preface that really quickly, I'd written a couple scripts at that point on spec, just on my own for fun. And he'd seen those and thought they were interesting and was like, hey, I think if we wrote this cool little horror film, I could put it together for, a couple $100,000. I started writing him a very low budget sort of horror movie and then very quickly realized, it just wasn't my thing. I just wasn't into it. I wasn't writing it honestly. I wasn't really feeling what I was doing. So got about 50 pages deep into that script and another friend of mine that I had met at the time in LA was like, could tell I was miserable, saw the laboring happening and came and said, I have this weird exercise I do where if I'm writing something like that, kind of for somebody else that I'm not totally into, I will take a weekend and pause and just write whatever's in my head that I'd want to see, like in that exact moment. If I was sitting in a theater for 2 hours, what's the movie I want to watch right now? And just take some element of the script that you're writing that you like and write a whole script around that. That's just total, like a vanity script, just the thing you'd want to see right now. None of the characters, the whole conceit was dumb, but I liked one element about it was the sort of isolated truck stop that was in the script. So I basically took that element out and just sat over a weekend and banged out this other script, which inevitably became Catch 44. I, threw it all on paper. It was like a fever dream. I was just so aggravated with the other process that it just all came out over just a couple. Literally, I think I wrote the script in about 2.5 days, which is bananas now that I think about it. Well, then that guy who I was kind of writing it for came to me and said, what's going on? I'd like to see it. I'm 75 pages into it, but I can't, it's nothing. I can't finish it. I don't know what it is, frustrated. And I said, I've got this other thing I wrote just for fun. If you want to read that, which has this element in it from the script I'm working on for you. And he said, okay, let me see that. So I actually gave it to him, not thinking anything about it. And then he in turn ended up loving that script.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Selling Your Screenplay podcast. If you'd like to hear the full interview, just go to sellingyourscreenplay.com/podcasts. Or to go directly to the episode, just use the link in the show notes. Thanks for watching.